Mm-hmm.
You
And,
know,
ha-
if
and
you
and having said that, I think what one thing that has like um impressed upon me when you were actually sharing a while ago, you mentioned one great element, which is gratefulness, right? So if
yes.
I asked you now, what are the three things that you think you're grateful of right now, in spite of experiencing the pandemic?
First of all, my health, really. That's the number one. First and foremost. I'm very grateful for that. And I would like to give a tap to my shoulder because I have been taking a good amount of, supplements, and like I exercise. So I think I've done maybe a good job of that for that. And also number two, to have very good friends, and
Connection, right? Mm-mm.
connection, yeah, connection, because I can reach out to them anytime, no matter where they are. I mean, in fact, right now, the world has gone so smaller because I can talk to them in Canada or Philippines or any part of the States, Washington, D.C., Florida. So I have like, um, a connection with, book discussions, all these things. So number three, of course, if there's a major take on for me from this pandemic is my spiritual growth, which is like I try to form the habit now of talking to God just like a friend. Just like a friend, because I'm just by myself. Like, hey, you know what, God, I can just talk to you just like a friend. So that is something that has deepened, during this pandemic, and I'm very grateful for that, really.
So if I look at it this way now, living in a very busy place like New York, or you were saying a while ago, it's actually the center, a city that never sleeps, and yet you're able to find treasure. You're still able to find strength, and 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 shall I say three things that you have prioritized or you feel is important. Number one is taking care of yourself, the health, right? And then
Yes.
second, you mentioned not to lose that connection or the relationship. You're saying that the world now is getting smaller, so all the more that you have to maximize and connect with the significant people that you have in your life. And the third, I think the most important thing that you mentioned, um, one of the treasure that you have discovered in this pandemic is your spiritual growth. Quite
Yes.
an amazing experience. So to end this conversation with you, is there anything that you would like to share or to encourage to everyone, especially maybe those living independently, who thinks that they are self-reliant, they're living in cities away from their family? What message would you like to impart unto them?
I would say that, just like in the Bible, right? Like when Jesus, was already condemned to death, and the disciples were left behind, and they were so fearful. They was having grief, and it's a very normal and um, uh, it's a normal emotion to have, and I felt that before, and sometimes even now. So one thing really is important, because I realized that this time that you do not live by yourself. No man is an island. So having really good friends is really a treasure. And if you have a good friend, really nurture that. And just to I mean, here in New York, not a lot of people have those really good friends. They are, I don't know, maybe, I'm not maybe superficial, like, they don't have like really like treasured friends. So I mean, for me, I'm very grateful for that. And reach out to them, talk to them, make the move. Um, Also, always remember that you are connected to your creator. Never forget that. And it is a time, it is an invitation this time for us to abide in him. And because he's the truth, you can never go wrong. And he will never judge you. And also do not fail to nourish yourself, because like it's a time of grief. Some people who died, and there's what you call compassion fatigue, where you are able to exhaust all your emotions, and you get drained. So it is important to nourish the child in you, just like the mother nurturing the child, her child. You do the same thing for yourself. We all know that our mothers are very special, people in our lives. We always run up to them when we have needs, and when we are emotionally down. That's what we also do to ourselves. So it's important to be reminded, to remember all these things, you know, um, and you can do that by making, be still, like try to pause, find some time to just be still and pause, because every time when you do that, then there's some kind of like, peace and stillness. And because if you always like think, nothing can happen. It'll just go around circles, vicious cycle. But if you decide to just pause and be still, and everything can have more enlightenment. You can have more enlightenment when you do that.
Correct.
So
Mhm. Wow, it's just amazing, like listening to someone who's independently staying in New York, um, living a busy life, and now giving us reminders to remember upon. I remember as I really close this conversation with you that at the end of the day, at the bottom of the sea, the islands and the islets are just connected. So, way of reminding us that in this pandemic, this is now actually a season to really connect with the people that we love, to, as you mentioned, to nourish and to cherish the gift that is being given to us by the Creator. And of course, don't forget to look up. At the end of the day, this is just a season. And I believe it's not going to be a rainy season all throughout. So with that, from the business behavior coaching, thank you so much, Imogene, for sharing your time with us, and I hope that the people who would like listening to this would be encouraged as well. All right. So
yeah,
thank you and have a good day.
thank you so much. Yay!
All right.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Thank
Okay.
you.